Monday. Lord, you swell well. Hope your week was filled with joy, excitement, pleasure, ease, blessings, miracles, prizes, and more. We're just going to go ahead and get into your weekly reading. I am going to try to keep it short and sweet because, again, I did do monthly readings for October, but I still do want to provide that information for you, okay? So we're going to go ahead and get into your proverb, and then we'll get into the rest of the reading for the week, okay? All right. Spirit, what do you have for the collective for a proverb this week? What should they know? What should they understand? So we have 28, okay? We have Proverb 28. I'm going to go ahead and bust that open and see what that says. Preponderance of the great, which is above lake, below wind. The lake overflows its boundaries and covers the trees. Such an exceptional occurrence cannot be ignored or denied. The situation requires swift action. Success is assured if experienced people are called upon to help. This is not a time to stand on your own. The lake rises above the trees, a need for action, right? So we're thinking about the progress you've been making, the changes, and you also being able to build your community and environment and that support. It is saying that when a situation arises and you feel like, and it's not so much as a struggle or an obstacle, it's just, it could be maybe you took on too much at a time and you should have said no to some things. Maybe asking for some help or asking for time leniency. Maybe like me, I'm still trying to work out my schedule at this point in time. And it's not me asking for help. But how did you figure it out? How did you work it? So it doesn't necessarily have to be an obstacle or a challenge or a delay. It can be, but it can just be something of you coming into this new life, the caterpillar becoming a butterfly, and you experiencing new things. I don't want to say new baggage, new ways of thinking, new ways of doing, and just new opportunities that you have taken on. That's the word. New opportunities or tasks that you have taken on, and it can seem like a much. So it could overflow the trees and the roots that you have planted, and that can cause just kind of like some stress or anxiety or worry or not being able to sleep properly or kind of just eating is all awry or things of that sort, and that can cause what the water is coming into the boundaries. And sometimes it's just a need of asking for some help or some assistance, or maybe if somebody has been in this situation close, like how did you work it out? How are you managing? Things of that sort, which is why they also want you to rely on that, because it is preponderantly great, and like I said, your success is happening. It's just right now, maybe you probably took on this a little bit too much. Okay, which is why they also wanted you to have fun this weekend, so that way you can see, I can still enjoy my life and still get things done, still be progressive, and still allow that to flow within. Okay. Now we're just going to get some messages for you. Yeah, here. Just going to get some messages to see what you may be dealing with. What is something that is the overstake of boundaries, should I say? What is overlapping your boundaries? What is that coming into? Spirit, what is the overtaking of boundaries? What is what is taking over them for a situation? Okay. Okay, thank you for letting us know how to work with the situation, but what is the situation that they may be dealing with, that they may be involved in? Okay. Okay, it's giving that it may be you taking on a little bit more emotionally than you were expecting, right? With this change, this course of whether it be new relationships, a new job, a new family situation, or maybe you're enforcing boundaries, things of that sort. And it's giving that it's a lot of emotions that you may be dealing with, just taking on extra emotions, extra energy, extra things, and sometimes that can also be an issue of what is overstepping the rooted boundaries that you have created, which is relaxing, daily routines, being grateful, pacing yourself, things of that sort, and that can overtake when sometimes emotions get high. And the reason why I'm saying that is because we're getting that a lot of emotions, and the first one that we got is, I will feel my emotions and gather a deep understanding of them. So this can be a means of you, again, why they wanted you to have fun and experience different emotions, different arrays of where your body can be, where your mind can be, and how you operate. They want you to understand that, which is like I said in that one, is to resonate. I like this feeling, I like this emotion, I like these opportunities, I like this environment, I want you to experience more of this. Versus other emotions that you are used to, which can be anger, sadness, depression, maybe scarcity mindset, survival mindset, being broke, things of that sort. So allowing yourself to feel these emotions, especially in the situation with the proverb, is to let you know, maybe again, don't take on so many tasks because you feel like you have to, because you have these opportunities now, or you feel like you have this expansion now. So it means that again, utilizing it exactly where it needs to go and how it needs to operate, so that way you're not taking on too much. Recognizing what you do and don't actually want to do. That is an understanding of your emotions. Emotions only last about 10 to 20 seconds, and it's a means of understanding where am I gathering, where I am after that, and where I was before that. That is a deeper understanding of your emotions, which is why they put don't take anything personally. You have to let go and breathe, because again, with this, it's overstepping the boundaries that you have cultivated for yourself, what you've worked for, what you are working towards, the roots, you being that caterpillar exploring, eating what you want to eat. It's a means of don't take anything personally, because in the means of the way that you are doing that, other people could have did that with you. And this means of sometimes what you are operating as and other people doesn't always have to line up, and it won't always line up. So you taking that personally is now you projecting what you expected of somebody else, and that can lead to control, that can lead to disappointment, that can lead to doubt in what you were actually able to cultivate and create, because you felt like you should have been able to dictate this situation, and that's not how things work. So make sure that you're not taking on anything personally, because again, with the proverb, it is over sweeping that boundaries. The water is overflowing, and water is emotions, clarity, intuition, reality, diving deep into that. So let it go and breathe. And again, your community is your center for valuable resources, right? If you need somebody to listen to or talk to, if you need advice on how to do something, if you don't know how to operate, if you are looking for a means of connection in someplace else, if you just need, hey, I took on too many, I know you're good in this area, do you think you'll be able to help me out? It's a valuable resource for a reason, and that's why while you were being the caterpillar, or while you're being the pupil, I think that's how they start. You were building other people up, and they're building you up. Now you have an environment. Now you have somebody you can call upon, and they can call upon you. So make sure that you're doing that, because you have 111. Okay, you are on the right path. So keep going and keep leading with your head up. That's what it says. When you're leading with your head up, you can still see everything ahead of you. You can see if there's cracks in the road. You can see exactly, okay, I can navigate here and there and pivot. But when your head is down, you can't see anything other than your feet. And now you're starting to be extra cautious and extra scared, because you can't see ahead of yourself, because you don't feel like there isn't anything there. Lift your head up and start walking with pride and confidence, and recognize that when I do need help or assistance, when things are starting to become too much, I can rely on other people and still keep my walk ahead, because at the end of the day, 444, you are being watched over by your ancestors and protected in all ways, always. Know that you are guided, okay? So again, like I said, this wasn't coming off with the proverb as an obstacle or a challenge or something that's going to be stressful. I'm saying it's just a means of helping you to alleviate these new opportunities, like I said, these new tasks, these new way of thinking, and making sure that you're still able to keep your emotions in balance, especially with Libra season. And I believe the eclipse for Libra is happening this weekend, so it is really going to put having your emotions and balance it with your new environment, with your new mindset. And it's a means of sometimes recognizing you can't take everybody with you. They don't love or care about you. Okay, which is why you also don't want to take things personal, which is why you don't want to take everything to heart. It's a means of some people just really don't care about you and love you. And sometimes it's the love and the care and the consideration and the thoughtfulness in who you are and how you operate around that person. And sometimes you are not feeling like that rubs off on them. And in all regards, it can just be you operating like that no matter what. And since that person is around, you thinking they are operating that way. And that's why also taking a step back, reflecting on how you feel around people, how they feel around you, what they say, how they think, and how it affects you in that way is also to help you keep your emotions in balance, right? Especially since the proverb is saying, now is not the time to stand on your own. It is a means of saying you will have to rely on your community. So make sure that the community that you have around you is people that actually love and care about you, and it's not just the extension of the love and care that you have for them. Okay? All right. Let's go ahead. I have time for an animal reading, and then I'll go ahead and get final messages, okay? We're just going to see the spirit that you are exuberating for the week in regards to the Proverbs. Something that will help you process, help you move forward, in alleviating this load and alleviating this thought pattern that you may have. Okay? So Spirit, what, that's too many, baby. I ain't got time for that. Spirit, what is the animal spirit that the ancestors are saying the spirit collective is invoking? What is the animal spirit for the week? Please don't tell me. Don't give me that too. Just give me one out of the two. I'll accept one out of the two. But don't give me both. They still give me two. I think I'm hard-headed, but Spirit's actually hard-headed. But we won't talk about that now. So we have earth energy and we have air energy. Okay? So for the earth energy, we have raccoon. Okay? The raccoon is very powerful. Very, very powerful. Their keywords are talented, shadowy, and in hiding. It says this energy plays within all artists to greater or lesser degrees. Okay? It says at its best, it indicates talent, tenacity, and skillfulness with a particular musical instruments or a creative tool. So that can be a pencil, that can be a pen, that can be a whisk, that can be a spatula, that can be welding, whatever it is a creative tool and how you allow that to be elected for yourself. Okay? It says its shadow side points to an unresolved issue around self-image and success, which is why I said it didn't feel like it was stress. It was just sometimes taking on extra things because you have been awakened or shown this new energy of enlightenment. Okay? It says sometimes using a stage name and wearing a mask works in an artist's favor. It's a way of separating yourself, still allowing yourself to do things. It reminds me of what Erykah Badu said, where she's like, I'm an artist, I'm sensitive about my shit. Allowing yourself to be separated from that allows you sometimes the balance of what you should take personal and what you shouldn't. Okay? Some questions that you do want to ask yourself is, am I who my audience thinks I am? And it's not a means of changing who you are by changing your name. It's a means of allowing yourself to expand on who you are. I want you to recognize that. What if I'm ready to grow into something more? Which is why you don't want to put yourself in the category of this is it, this is the structure. This is an extension of me and I'm not done growing. So answering these questions helps you to realize that on the other side, which could be unresolved self-image and success, it can lead to the resolvement of that which is self-love and success still within your image. Okay? It says raccoon energy won't let you off the hook until this creative ego is resolved. So when you are in balance, you are a generous friend, not just of like funds and money, but of ideas, of advice, of support, of time. You are an exceptional artist. You are proud of your work. You are happy of it, and you're not diminishing or downplaying it or comparing it. You just recognize, I am that shit. When you're out of balance, you are competitive. Competitive sometimes comes from comparison, because how can you be competing with somebody if you're not comparing yourself to them? So make sure that you're not comparing yourself to other people in a means of trying to compete with them to get to where they are when you want to go to a different spot in the first place. It says you are a starving artist, which means, again, if you're not sharing your talents, people don't know what to pay for, know what to offer, or you feel like you're not worthy of that. You're not worthy. You are. Charge people. Let them know, right? Do exchanges. It says to bring to balance, make new work. Okay? Make new work, make new crafts. It is a means of tapping into that. Because again, you are talented. Shadowy means you can tap into your shadow self, which again is leading to that Libra energy, and in hiding, which means, am I going to hide myself in the dark and creep out at night, or am I going to allow myself to be seen and shown? And still you're able to see the texture of it, okay? So this one is the hummingbird, which is air energy. I'm going to go ahead and go to that. Which is positive, enthusiastic, and spiritually resourceful. What did I say? You're able to tap into that. It says it resides inside of the hummingbird a well of energy and positivity that is endless. Okay, because you are the food at home. You are that nourishment. Okay, it says the hummingbird's secret is that it has learned where to gather nectar, and it returns to these sources daily for nourishment and rejuvenation. Like I said, it's a means of maybe you took on too much and now you're not doing your daily tasks, or you're not setting up what you structured within yourself, and that is again the water overcoming and overstepping those boundaries of the proverb. Okay, and it says this sacred elixir springs from many sources, but usually involves nature, creativity, and exploring spirituality. Okay, it says follow the way of the hummingbird and you cannot go wrong. An affirmation is every droplet of my life becomes sweet and every moment worth savoring. Okay, again, it is a means of being able to look at what you truly desire, what you truly want. And am I rooting in it? Am I operating in it? Am I neglecting it? Am I doing too much for it where I can't see that I can expand it like the raccoon? Okay, so when you are in balance, you are smart, and not just book smart. You are smart in your craft. You are smart in worldly matters. You are smart in relationships, whatever it is. You have the intellect to understand that because of how you dive into yourself. And that dedication every day also leads to the tenacity of the raccoon. You are curious. You understand that you don't know everything, but you want to. You're intrigued. You're excited. And it also lets you know I'm not done yet. I'm not finished yet. I have so much further to go. So why not also rely on people that have further to go as well, where I can expand? Then we have you love to learn, which kind of leads back to the other points. You enjoy it. You thrive in it. You're okay with taking things in a different way or listening to different things as well. Because when you are out of balance, you are pushy. This is how it has to be. It has to be now. It has to go. And that also leads to you taking on too much because you have all this energy. But like it said, it knows where to gather the nectar. And it knows where to bring it back to each and every day. It is intentionally using that endless source of positivity and energy. Not just willy-nilly pushing, forcing. It has to be now. It is no other way. I can't listen to anybody else. You also are insistent, right? It has to be this. Like I said, there is no other way. But there is, which leads back again to that creativity, being resourceful and being able to expand and lead and guide in that. You are also sharp tongue, right? Snippy, quick, and not in like, oh, I'm quick with it, but like, oh, you don't have to say, you don't have to do all that. You sharp mouth, right? Because you feel like you have to be rigid in order to fit into something when you're not supposed to fit into anything at all. So smooth out some of those edges, baby. And to bring it to balance, take a class. Take a class. Get to know something. Get to explore something. Get to see, wow, I can actually, be a student again, and I can dive into that and hold on to that. And that also helps you to not stand on your own, like the proverb said. It's because now you'll also have other people that you are involved with every day, and you're able to hone in on that. You're able to be generous now and share even more information with other people that they might not know because you decided to expand on that for yourself. Okay? Now we're just going to go ahead and get your final messages for the week, and then we'll be good to go. All right. Excellent. Let's get this inside. Beautiful. All right. So, Spirit, what final messages do you have for the collective for the week? Final messages, words of advice, encouragements for the week for the collective. Words of advice or encouragement for the collective. They're pretty straightforward. I'm looking at it right now. Baby, don't play with me. As soon as I said, they say, here goes 8 cards. I thank you, love. All right. So, for that, we have final verdict. Choose wisely, which is why, again, they want you to alleviate some of that pressure so that way you're not making a decision based off of pressure that will not be there for the long run. And offer the realization of final verdict, choose wisely to Choose your support system. Choose which way you want to go. Choose how you want to operate, and recognize that my feelings do not always equate to facts. Because, like I said, that's why they say you're so insistent it has to be this way. You're pushy, or you're just. It's a means of recognizing that's where creativity comes in. That's where expansion comes in. My feelings are not equating the facts. Because if I was to recognize that, I would recognize that somebody is lying to me, which leads back to they don't love you, they don't care about you. Somebody is not being open and honest. But if you're so in your feelings because of how you're feeling, and now it's kind of putting onto them, you're not able to look at it from a clear, conscious perspective where you're able to actually make a decision, where you're actually able to see who is there for you and rely on you. Because in all honesty, there is a secret. It could be from the liar itself, or it could be after you have cleared off the air, you've asked for support, you said no, you reinforced your boundaries, whatever it is. It's going to be, oh, I didn't have all the information. I didn't have, okay, that's what I needed. And that leads back to the 444. Just keep going and recognize that you are guided. That is your fire and desire. Am I living in my purpose? Am I neglecting my purpose? Am I moving and operating in that way, in that sense? Taking that in and recognizing that. Because sometimes, like I said, it didn't feel like it was so much stress and such an overburden. It's just like a third party issue, a third party situation, like I said, which can be, that's where the information is coming from. Give me 1 second. There we go. So taking all of that in with that recognition in for that. And then the final one that we have is major wins are coming. So with this recognition of you choosing wisely, of you saying, I can and I can't do this. I will not lose the operations and the boundaries that I set up. I will not lose my focus or my guidance. I'm still pushing forward and doing this. And if I need to, I can rely on my community, my help, my support, because this is not something that is going to stress and weigh me down. Okay? So that has been your reading for the week, collective. I hope that you gathered and got something from it. If you want more information, book a reading. But other than that, I do these on my Instagram Live every Monday and Friday, and special lunar days, of course, as well. I love you guys. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. And until next time.